Hello, Bobby Torres of Frightbox recording here, critiquing subscriber mixes, episode 10. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to remind you that we have to remember that mixing is an art form and is extremely subjective. So everything that I'll be sharing within this video is just my opinion. I'm just here listening to these mixes, giving you my first initial impressions and reactions on how I feel you can improve your mixes with minimal tweakage and minimal fuss. Okay, and our first mix here comes from Mr. Yeeshan. Let's check it out. Okay, well, Yeeshan, I love what I hear. Now, you mentioned in your email that you would like to hear my opinion on the guitar tone, and dude, I actually really like the guitar tone. That was one of the first things that I noticed as soon as the mix started playing, is that the guitar tone is super solid. You also mentioned that this is your first mix, I'm pretty sure, that you've used program bass, and I gotta say, man, you've done a great job of making it sound natural. To be completely honest with you, if I wasn't paying attention to the bass, or even if I was, I don't think I would have picked up on the fact that it is program bass. So excellent work there. Now, with that being said, my only note here is I hear something going on timing-wise halfway through the track. Let me just check that out again. Right around here, there's something going on timing-wise, and you're definitely going to want to go in there and tighten that up with editing, because little details like that, in my opinion, make a huge difference when it comes to the overall sound of your mix. I would just go in there and tighten up the timing, whether it's on your rhythm guitar tracks or your drums or whatever, and that'll take your mix to that super-duper polished, professional level. Thanks for your submission. All right, our next mix here comes from Abdullah. Let's see what we got. Okay, well, Abdullah, I really like what I'm hearing. Really dig the riffage and just the songwriting in general. Super catchy, has that cool, dark kind of, evil vibe to it, which I dig. And I also like the production. I like that the drums kind of sound dry and warm and not overly processed. I gotta say, my only real note here is that right when that lead guitar came in, it was screaming loud. And I know that it feels natural to make your guitar leads really loud if you want them to be noticeable in a mix, but what I always recommend doing is going in there and during lead guitars, automating your rhythm guitars down by a dB or a dB and a half, just to make room for your leads so you don't have to make them so loud in the mix in order to get them to pop through. Other than that, I really like what I'm hearing. Like I said, it's just that the lead guitar kind of took my head off when it popped in, and that's my only real note. So dude, give that a shot and let me know how that works out in your next production, and keep me posted. Okay, and our next mix comes from Mr. Crash. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, let me know. Okay, well, Cratch, I really like what I'm hearing. I really dig the Dream Warriors vibe. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. There's a song by Dokken in the soundtrack to that movie called Dream Warriors, and this track has a Dream Warriors-like vibe, which I'm definitely a fan of. My only real note here is that your vocals are just really loud. I don't think they have to be that loud. They're plenty clear. Your guitar is already pretty loud, but I think you can get away with it if you just take your vocal track, just bring it down 2 dB or so. I think that's all you need. I don't think it has to be any louder than that. So dude, thanks for your submission. Give your mix those tweaks and let me know how that works out for you. All right, our next mix here comes from Steven. Okay, well, Steven, I just gotta say, I really like what I'm hearing. I really like that gallopy kind of riff they have going on the intro of the song. Now, with that being said, something sounds really, really lo-fi to me. Now, I don't know if this is intentional or not, or maybe you have just way too much processing happening on your master fader. I know when I first got into production, I used to go crazy adding all kinds of plugins to my master bus, thinking that was the answer to a nice polished sounding production. And I'm thinking maybe that's what you're doing here, or maybe you have some crazy filtering going on your drums and guitars. I don't know what it is, but for some reason it sounds really lo-fi. So if you can, if you're watching this video, drop a comment below and let me know what processing you have going on, because I'd love to fix this issue for you, because the riffing sounds great, the performance sounds great, everything sounds well dialed in. It just sounds like it's being filtered heavily for some reason. So yeah, man, just leave a comment, let me know, and let's get this situation fixed. All right, and our next track here comes from my good friend, Oden Hunter. Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest, man, I wouldn't change anything about this. I really love the guitar tone. It's super crisp, super clear. I love the fatness of the snare drum. The drums have that nice polished vibe, but they don't sound overly processed to me. I really like the songwriting. Just overall, I think it's a killer production. So I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't change anything about this. Now, for anyone who's watching, Oden has his own YouTube channel that's awesome, where he talks about metal production, plugins, guitar equipment, all kinds of stuff. And as a matter of fact, he just had me on recently interviewing me, and it was an excellent time. And we talked about how I got into production and all kinds of stuff relating to metal production and producing. I will leave a link below to the interview where you can check out that interview with me, as well as his channel in general, and definitely subscribe. Tons of valuable information on his channel. So Oden, thank you for your submission, but I wouldn't change anything, to be honest. All right, our final mix here comes from Jackson. Let's check it out. And we're having a good run here. Jackson, I love your mix. Love the riffing, love the guitar tone, guitar playing, everything sounds nice and tight. Love the drum sound. I mean, literally, this is my only note, is I hear a lot of low frequency on the vocal track that you definitely don't need. Sounds like to me a lot of lower mids and definitely low end around the 100 hertz range. You can just get rid of all of that. You don't need that much low end on a vocal because everything else is taking up that range, especially your kick drum, bass guitar, and rhythm guitars. So dude, just filter out a little more heavily on your vocal, and I think it would sit in the mix perfectly, because it's a nice dry and in-your-face vocal, and by removing those frequencies you don't need, it'll help keep it clear and it won't be stepping on the other instruments. But other than that, as far as the instrumentation and the instrumental mix, I would say it's perfect. I wouldn't change anything. So dude, thank you for your submission, and definitely keep it posted on your future productions. All right, I would just like to shout out and thank everyone for submitting these killer mixes. Now, if you've submitted a mix and I haven't gotten to it yet, just be patient. I will definitely get to it within one of my videos in this series. Now, if you're interested in submitting your mix to have me critique it on this series, there are detailed instructions below in this video's description. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And do not forget to click the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload one of my weekly videos on all things metal and rock production. If you're interested in some Frightbox swag, I've got t-shirts, mugs, and other cool stuff on the way. There's a link below in this video's description to the Frightbox merch store. Now, the truth is there's a ton of important stuff that most home studio owners tend to gloss over when they're trying to achieve a professional level production within their studio. And I don't want this for you. I want you to achieve better results and professional results with the gear that you already have. And that's why I've put together my polished production checklist. The checklist highlights and points out these key areas that you definitely need to pay attention to. So if you're looking to produce professional results, download it. It's absolutely free. Until next time, happy mixing.